things quick. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're going to be reviewing a 2022 Kia K5 GT. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Jerry Seiner Kia here in South Salt Lake for giving me some time with the GT. Check out the inventory in the description down below. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into the video. So under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2.5 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 24 around town and then 32 on the highway, with power outputs being 290 horsepower and then 311 pound-feet of torque. And I love how it says turbo there, and then also you got the carbon fiber trim as well. Pretty cool setup. So let's go over the front end of the GT. First off, this one's finished in wolf gray, which you guys know is my favorite color on the K5 because, I mean, just look at this thing. So notice we've got the new Kia logo there in the center. And then I love how you've got this body line right here. And then coming down below, I love how you've got the orange LED accent lights. Definitely looks fantastic. And you've got all the projector bulbs. And overall, the lighting looks super aggressive on this. And then you guys can see the trim here off to the side that integrates the fog light. Definitely a cool piece. And then notice how that continues there into the bottom portion of the grille. Parking sensors here on the front end. And then you can see here with the rest of the front grille. Definitely unique from a design standpoint. Also, you've got a front camera. And other than that, there's the front end. Coming around the side here, we've got two 45mm tires wrapped around 19-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And I love the design here on the wheels. So you've got the silver here on the top, and then notice it says GT there on the brake caliper. You can see the rotors are actually pretty big for this car. The K5 is not like a super big heavy car, so stopping power should actually be pretty good. Now you can see here how they've kind of molded the fender, and then notice the mirrors are blacked out, which is another cool piece on this. And you can see the bodywork there at the bottom. And then notice we do get chrome trim here around the windows. And if we take a few steps back, here is your full side view on the K5. So we have remote start here in the back. Notice we got the Kia logo here. We've got our lock, unlock, the opening here for the trunk, and then the alarm button. So just hold this down and it'll pop right open. And you can see here from a storage space perspective, definitely solid. And picking up the little loading floor, and this is where the spare tire lives out its days. And yeah, overall great. Also, another nice feature is you can pull these little latches right here to lower down these seats on either side. And then when you're done, it's got a, well, lower it down yourself. Now let's finish things up here with the rear. So we've got our black spoiler here on the back. Notice the chrome trim continues all the way down there at the bottom of the window. And then I love the taillights on the K5. Definitely another unique touch. It's got like a little light bar thing going on. K5 logo. The biggest flex though, GT and not GT line. That's very important. There's a huge distinction. Parking sensors here at the bottom. And then look how aggressive the quad tips are here with the GT. Notice the diffuser as well. Definitely a great looking car. Now here's the door panel in the rear. You guys can see the trim here, and then notice the metallic trim that goes all across. You got your door handle, and then padding down below, and then you can see here for the window control. And then here are the seats in the GT. So you can see you've got the leather. Notice you got the contrasted red stitching here. And then here with the seats, you got little like cloth inserts there in the center. Kind of breaks things up a little bit, and then we'll pop in to see if this is practical, right? There's the legroom. Headroom's great as well. Now it's got a couple of vents, got some USBs down there. And then we have our armrest, cup holder situation, and let's head to the front. Here's the door panel at the front again. You've got the metallic trim that goes all the way, and then notice the door handle. We've got our settings for the memory seats. There's two different settings. Blind spot monitoring, and then more padding down below with the red stitching, and then you can see the padding right here. All of our window controls, you've got the mirror adjustments, and then here are the front seats. So you can see again with the contrasted stitching, notice you got the GT logo here, cloth trim there, and then the perforated leather there in the center, looks great. And then your adjustments are on the side of the seat. Pedal layout down below, and then also got the trunk release, lane departure, stability control, and then you can see here with the steering wheel adjustment, it is manual. And let's pop in. Now here is the steering wheel. Notice soft touch all around, and then you can see the black stitching in the center, another GT badge. We do have our adaptive cruise control steering assist, paddle shifters here for that dual clutch on the back. Now it's got our voice command phone controls as well. Turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock, and there's the steering wheel. Now here's the center gauge cluster itself. We've got analog gauges on either side, and then you can see you've got that screen there in the center. Now you can press the pages button to scroll through a few different menus, see different bits of info here on the car, and we do have our drive mode select as well. So notice we have our normal, sport, sport plus, and then our custom, and notice the stability control pops off in sport plus, and kind of gets red and aggressive there at the bottom. So there you go. So here's the center infotainment system. First off, we're going to pop it into reverse. So you've got the backup camera with trajectory lines that do turn with the steering wheel. Notice you've got the bird's eye view as well, which is great, and how you can kind of like look at different viewpoints, including the side, which is fantastic. And notice if I go from reverse to drive, front camera. So that's definitely solid. I mean, you usually don't expect that with a car at this price point. But anyways, you can see response time at the touchscreen is fantastic. We have the sounds of nature, which is very important. So while you're ripping around a racetrack in your GT, you can be listening to, well, the sounds of nature, like a lively forest, for example, or a warm fireplace. Down below, notice the vents. The reason I'm mentioning them is I love how they look, and also so satisfying to do the open and close function on it, and then the trim down below that. We do have dual zone climate controls here, and then you can see the USBs and the 12 volt and the extra storage space. Shifter for the dual clutch, automatic, and again, it does have a manual shift function. Got our parking sensor here. This is for the camera function to have it on or off. Parking brake, auto hold, and then notice we do have heated and cooled seats. Heated steering wheel, drive mode select, and then we have our wireless phone charger. And then notice the stitching here. Definitely nice setup. See, storage space is great. And then notice the trim here on the dash, and then up above with the stitching and then all the metallic trim. You can see the glove box. And last but not least, we do have a very large sunroof here for the car. Got the controls for it right here in the center. And then we do have a manual mirror dimmer. So here's the window sticker for this GT. Now notice that it says this is the powertrain. Again, that's standard equipment. Wait until we get into options. So there's the standard equipment. Now, first option you can see here with the upgraded powertrain with the increased power outputs. And you can see the additional equipment on this one. This one's a GT1. So you can see the total MSRP here, $36,860. And let's see how she drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. There's visibility of the hood. Both mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. And then throughout the rest of the rear, and let's set off. So we are setting up here in the GT, and I can tell you the brakes are actually very touchy, so this thing's exciting. This is the first time I've had a chance to review one of these. I know I'm a little bit late to the game because people reviewed these last year, but you know what? Gotta get the Ben Hardy impressions on it, right? First off, ride quality with this. You know, for being the sportiest version of the K5, it's still smooth. Can definitely tell they've tuned the suspension to be a little bit firmer compared to the regular K5, but still really smooth. So this would be a great daily driver car from that perspective. And this dual clutch feels great too. It's quick to shift, it's smooth. Yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about the car right now. Pop into the Sport Plus mode. See how it does it with the train tracks. Yeah, that's nice. Gonna pop it into the manual mode as well. It's really torquey. Definitely can tell this is a beefier engine compared to the GT line. Yeah, super smooth with the gear shifts. Wow. Okay, I see you. So I just drove the new Hyundai Kona N, which super similar setup to this, right? And I'm sure that weighs similar amount. I know that that's an SUV and this is a car, but you know, right, similar powertrain setup, similar weight, all that kind of stuff. This technically has more torque and all that, but yeah, this is interesting. This drives like an older turbo car, and I'm not saying that in like a bad way. There's good low-end torque, but you definitely can feel this is turbocharged. It's like, you know, pretty good torque, and then all of a sudden you hit the turbos and there's another wave, and it is pretty substantial. This is an interesting car. I wasn't expecting this. I've pretty much driven this powertrain before, but I don't know. How they've set this up in the K5 is very, very interesting. Wow, this thing's quick. This thing is quick. The GT line has no chance. I'm gonna pop it back into automatic mode. And the brakes are great on this too. It's got really good stopping power. I love how it says torque and turbo there for the gauge cluster. So you can see that whole setup. So yeah, let's sum things up here. Let's sum things up here with the K5 GT. Exterior wise, you guys know I'm a huge fan of K5 styling. I think this is one of the best looking cars out there, especially considering the price point. Like, Kia's nailed it from a stylistic perspective. The interior is really nice too. Again, considering the price point, like, this feels pretty upscale. Like, and it's got tons of nice features. Again, heated, cooled seats. You've got the big sunroof, dual zone climate. Like, there's a lot going for this. And then from a driving perspective, the only downside about the GT really is the fact that it's front wheel drive and not all-wheel drive. So you do have to kind of contend with that. But this doesn't like wheel hop and torque steer nearly as bad as like the Sonata N line. You guys remember I reviewed that, and that thing just like is... It's a, you know, turbocharged front wheel drive car, and it drives like it. This, on the other hand, it puts down the power way better, and it doesn't do the annoying stuff that this Sonata N line does. So yeah, if you're looking for a fun, fast car that's super reasonable from a price point perspective, and you don't I mean, front wheel drive still does great in the snow, but the GT line is gonna be the one to get if you're in like a really, you know, crazy winter climate. But yeah, if it doesn't snow where you live, or if it doesn't snow a lot, this would be such a fun car to own. Like, it's so quick. Yeah, I love this thing. That's gonna sum things up for our video on this 2022 Kia K5 GT. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Jerry Steiner Kia here in South Salt Lake for giving me some time with the K5. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see all of you in the next video.